Hola a todos. Hi everyone. Buenos dias. Hope you're all feeling okay. Really excited to be sharing with you our third Spanish lesson. So we've already done two Spanish lessons. The first one we did was a recap about animals. The one we did last week, we focused on learning 5 different colours. And this week we're going to be using those 5 different colours, but we're going to be doing that with some shapes. Okay, so it's a bit like a Spanish maths lesson. So before we start though, I'd just like to share with you some really nice examples of some work that's been coming in from the children in year 3 and 4 from home and from in school. Okay, so if you have a look at your screen, you'll see that I've got my Salon de la Fama, which is my Hall of Fame. So in this Hall of Fame, I've put some really nice examples of work that's come back from some of the children in year 3 and 4. So if you haven't had yours in here yet, have a really good go and see if you can get it in for next week. Okay, so at the end of every Spanish lesson, there'll be an opportunity for you to have a go at a purple task, a creation task, and there's also the Modern Foreign Languages project that I send out every week, where I'm asking you to find out about a different country. Okay, so 2 different opportunities, and remember, if you send your work back, you get tickets to El Gordo, which is the big raffle that we're going to have at the end of the term. Okay, so just having a look now at my Salon de la Fama, my Hall of Fame, you can see some really nice arco irises, so some really nice rainbows showing the different colours from the children last week. So well done if you're in my Salon de la Fama. Our focus today then for our lesson is we're going to be learning the name of some common 2D shapes. You should be able to say the shapes and their colours. The purpose is to understand word order. So we talked about this last week about adjectives and nouns. Okay, so the assessment then by the end of the lesson, you should be able to identify a shape and a colour. So a quick revision then. I'd like you to have a look at the column on the left, and it says read the words. Okay, so when you're watching these lessons from home, rather than me sitting here for a couple of minutes in silence staring at you, okay, you can always pause the video, do the task, and then when you click play, we'll move on to the next task. Okay, so for this task, I'd like you to read the words. So we've got rojo, azul, amarillo, verde, and naranja. Remember, the J makes a sound. Rojo, naranja. The Z makes a sound. Azul. 2 L's make a Y sound, so y. Amarillo. And the V in Spain is pronounced like a B, so verde. Okay, so if you move to the column on the right, it says, now say the colour of the words in Spanish as fast as you can. So this time, it's a bit of trickery on the mind, okay? You'll be tempted to read the word. I don't want you to read the word. I want you to say the colour that the word is written in. So, for example, the first one is not rojo. The first one would be amarillo, because the word is written in yellow, and amarillo is the Spanish word for yellow. Okay, so pause this, say the words as fast as you can. Remember, it's the colours that you are saying, sorry, not the words. Muy bien, well done. Okay, let's move on to the next task then. Let's move on to today's lesson. I'd like you to mirad, so look, escuchad, listen, and repetir. Okay, so I'm going to introduce you now to 5 shapes. Okay, so mirad, look, escuchad, listen, and repetir, repeat. El círculo. El círculo. Sounds a bit like circle. El círculo. El círculo. And if you look, my círculo is rojo. It's el círculo rojo, the red circle. El triángulo. El triángulo. Okay, again, quite similar to English. Triángulo. Triángulo. El triángulo. Muy bien. Okay, a square. El cuadrado. El cuadrado. You say it. El cuadrado. El rectángulo. El rectángulo. Okay, doesn't matter which way around it is el rectángulo. You say it. El rectángulo. And the last one I'm going to show you is la estrella. La estrella. You try it. La estrella. So we had la estrella. We can clap out the syllables. Estrella. You try it. La estrella. And we use la or el at the start because it shows that it's masculine or feminine, and it is the word for the. So la estrella, the star. El rectángulo, the rectangle. El cuadrado, the square. El triángulo, the triangle. El triángulo. And el círculo. El círculo. Okay, so let's try now. I'm going to show you two different shapes. You need to shout out which is the correct name. So, por ejemplo, for example. Is this el círculo or is this la estrella? El círculo o la estrella? Muy bien, el círculo, the circle. Is this el rectángulo o el triángulo? Is it el rectángulo o el triángulo? El triángulo, well done, the triangle. Is this triángulo or is it el cuadrado? El círculo o el cuadrado? El cuadrado, muy bien, very good, it's the square. Is this la estrella or is this el rectángulo? El rectángulo, muy bien, the rectangle. And is this one el triángulo or is it la estrella? El triángulo o la estrella? La estrella, muy bien, the star. So, la estrella, el círculo, el triángulo, el cuadrado, el rectángulo. So I'm going to show you one of mine now, and I want you to have a go at saying the word. Now remember, triángulo is similar to triangle. Rectangulo, similar to rectangle. Círculo is very similar to circle. Círculo. The only two then that are different are el cuadrado and la estrella. Now, I remember el cuadrado because it has 4 corners and 4 sides, and I think of the word quad, so a quad bike. Yeah, has 4 wheels. So I know the word quad is linked to the number 4. So listen again. El cuadrado. Okay, so if you can remember that, it will help you to remember the name of this 2D shape. Quad means 4. So if you listen to the word quad and you think of a quad bike, 4 wheels. Cuadrado, 4 sides, 4 corners. It's a square. Okay? So, what shape is this? El círculo. What shape is this? El triángulo. What shape is this? El rectángulo. What shape is this? La estrella. Okay, muy bien. So we've practiced the names of the different shapes. Now, I think that 4 of them are pretty easy for you to remember because they're so similar to English. And now that we've got a method to remember the word for square, quad, cuadrado, we now only really have to focus on this one, la estrella. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen with you and we're going to have a go at some different games. So we've done the mirad, escuchad and repetir part of our lesson. So let's move on. So the learning then, we know what we're going to be able to do by the end of the lesson. And here you can see the different shapes, the ones that I've just been showing you. So we've got el círculo, el cuadrado, el triángulo, el rectángulo, and la estrella. There are 3 more on there, but I'm not going to talk about those now. We'll leave that for another time, okay? So what I want to do now, I want you to have a think. I'm going to give you some clues and I'm going to show you a shape, okay? But only once you've guessed what it is from the clues. So my question to you is, ¿qué forma es? What shape is it? And then it says, mi forma tiene. My shape has. And then you'll see some bullet points. Okay, they might be written in Spanish, but that's just to give you a bit more exposure to the language. Okay, I will tell you what they mean, so please don't worry. Okay, but we have covered numbers up to 5 before, so you should be quite familiar with your numbers. So this one, it says, ¿qué forma es? What shape is it? Mi forma tiene. My shape has 4 lados, and all its lados are the same. What shape did it be? So it's got 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 4 lados, and all its lados are the same. What could that be? Think about the 5 shapes we just looked at. Muy bien, if you were thinking of el cuadrado, a square. So remember, a square has 4 sides. Lados are sides, 4 sides, and all its lados are the same. So it is el cuadrado. You ready for the next one? ¿Qué forma es? What shape is it? Mi forma tiene, my shape has 3 lados. So let's count. 1, 2, 3. 3 lados. And we know that lados are sides. So 3 lados, and there can be different types of this shape, such as a right angled, an equilateral, and a scalene. So, ¿qué forma es? What shape am I thinking of? We know it has 3 lados. Muy bien, if you are thinking of el triángulo, a triangle. 3 lados, 3 sides, and there are different types of this shape. ¿Qué forma es? What shape am I thinking of now? Mi forma tiene, my shape has 1 curved side and no corners. What shape is it? El círculo. Well done. It is a circle. El círculo, the circle. ¿Qué forma es? Oh, this one's a bit difficult. ¿Qué forma es? What shape is it? Mi forma tiene, my shape has 5 esquinas. What's 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 esquinas. So 5 corners. 10 lados. 10 lados. 10 sides. And we associate this shape with nighttime. Can you remember? It's the most difficult one. La estrella. And remember that double L makes a Y sound. Estrella. Okay? La estrella. ¿Qué forma es? What shape am I thinking of now? Mi forma tiene 4 lados. So we know that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lados. 2 lados largos. So uno, dos. Two long sides and dos lados cortos. Two short sides. ¿Qué forma es? What shape is it? Increíble! It's el rectángulo. El rectángulo. So now we're going to play a game. I'm going to call out the name of the shape and the colour. What I'd like you to do is to touch the correct shape and colour on your screen. Okay? So if I say to you, tocad el círculo rojo, touch the red circle. If I say to you, tocad el triángulo azul, touch the blue triangle. Okay? And you'll notice that the shape is said first and then the colour, because the shape is the noun, the object, and the colour, the adjective, follows it. It goes after. Are you ready? Tocad el cuadrado rojo. Tocad el círculo amarillo. Tocad el cuadrado azul. Tocad el círculo naranja. Tocad el círculo amarillo. Tocad el triángulo amarillo. Tocad el cuadrado verde. Tocad el círculo rojo. Tocad el cuadrado amarillo. Tocad el círculo verde. Tocad el triángulo rojo. Tocad el círculo azul. Tocad el cuadrado rojo. Tocad el triángulo verde. Tocad el triángulo rojo. Okay, so you should have had a really good go then at touching all of the different ones. Remember, if you want to play this again, you can always rewind the video back and play it again. You can always pause it as well while you have a think. Okay, so remember, while you're doing these lessons at home and they're recorded for you, we can go at your own pace. So never feel that you can't pause it. There's always time for you to stop, think, and have a go. Okay? So this is a thinking task. It says, what comes next in the sequence? So if you have a look, I've got a red circle, a blue circle, a red circle, a blue circle. What would come next in the sequence? Can you say it in Spanish? Muy bien. So the next shape in my sequence would be el círculo rojo. And after that, el círculo azul. Muy bien. Very good work. Have a look at the pattern at the bottom. We've got a green triangle, a yellow square, a green triangle. What comes next? Can you work out the next three shapes in my sequence? Muy bien. So you have el cuadrado amarillo, el cuadrado amarillo, and then you have el triángulo verde. So you have a yellow square, and a green triangle. Muy bien. Okay, another thinking task. It says, notice how most shapes have a similar name in English. Okay, so the Spanish and the English are quite similar. Have a guess at how to say the names of the following shapes. Now remember, I haven't told you the names of these shapes. Okay, I can tell you in English that you can see an oval, a hexagon, and an octagon. Have a guess. Okay, I'm not expecting you to know the answer, but I'd like you to have a guess. So have a think about what you already know from looking at the shapes at the top, how similar they are to English, and see if you can have a guess at how you would say these words in Spanish. Okay, so we'll go through the answers together then. So you have el ovalo, el ovalo, el ovalo, an oval, el hexágono, a hexagon, and el octágono, el octágono. So if you look, the start of the word is very similar to English, an oval, a hexagon, and an octagon. The same as the ones at the top, a circle, a triangle, a rectangle. Okay, so it's only really the endings of the word that are changing. Okay, so well done for having a go. So now we're moving on to the explaining part of our lesson, and it says, which is the odd one out? Explain your reasoning. Now remember, you can just say this out loud as you're working through the slides. If you wanted to write down your answer and take a photo and send it in for us to have a look at, that would be amazing. Okay, so which is the odd one out, and explain your reasoning. So we've got un círculo, un triángulo, un cuadrado, una estrella, and un rectángulo. So it says at the bottom, helpful tips. Think about the word itself and how it looks, not what it means. So we're not thinking about the properties of these shapes and what's different or what's the odd one out about them. We're looking at the words. Which is the odd one out and why? Okay, so hopefully you've had a pause and a bit of time to have a think, and you should have identified una estrella as the odd one out. And the reason that una estrella is the odd one out is because it is a feminine noun. If you look, all the others start with un for the and end in the letter o. Un círculo, un triángulo, un cuadrado, and un rectángulo. Una estrella is the odd one out because it is a feminine noun. So it has una for the, and it ends in the letter A. So moving on to our next task. In Spanish, adjectives follow the object or the noun that they are describing. Okay, so which of these phrases then is not grammatically correct? Okay, so have a look at your word order. Which one is not correct? Is it uno, dos, tres, or cuatro? So uno, un triángulo rojo. Dos, una estrella roja. Tres, un amarillo círculo. Or cuatro, un rectángulo azul. Which one is not written correctly? Well done if you thought it was número tres. It should be un círculo amarillo. Okay, so here we've got the word order incorrect. We should say the noun first, el círculo, and then the colour, amarillo. So we're moving on now to the end of our lesson, and this is the part where I ask you to do something at home or in school, and then your teachers will send me a copy of it to have a look at, and this is where you win tickets to El Gordo. So you win those raffle tickets for the prize at the end of term. So my task to you is, can you draw a house using the shapes we have learned today? So using círculo, cuadrado, triángulo, rectángulo, and estrellas. Okay, so label the shapes and the colours in Spanish and send your work in to claim your ticket for El Gordo. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. So here I have used tiene, it has, and my picture has got 11 triángulos, 13 rectángulos, and 2 cuadrados. Okay, what you can do though is you could go one better than that, and you could say, okay, so my shape tiene 11 triángulos, so it has 11 triangles. You could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 are triángulos verdes, 6 are green triangles. You've got un triángulo naranja, 1 orange triangle, and 4 triángulos rojos. Okay, so see if you can have a go at drawing a picture using different shapes and labeling it using Spanish. So remember the name of the shape first and then the colour. Once you've done that, take a photograph, send it into your class teacher who will send it to me, and you get a chance to be featured in my Salon de la Fama, my Hall of Fame, my Gallery of Fame with all the different pictures. And you also get tickets to El Gordo, the raffle that we're going to be holding at the end of the term. Okay? So hopefully you've enjoyed that lesson. Remember, there's always time to pause and reflect and go back if there's anything that you feel you need to have another go at. But well done. Thank you very much for listening, and I will see you next week for our 4th Spanish lesson. Hasta luego.